Okay, let's talk about Wonder, page 180 through 200. So, this chapter we read was written from the perspective of Justin, and then this novel's most unique characteristic is that it switches from one perspective to another character's perspective, and I really like the fact that the novel explores many different perspectives because it adds depth to the narrative. Especially Justin's character adds a fresh perspective into Augie's family, and he's the person who's most empathetic to Via. So from his perspective, we can get a deeper understanding of Via's struggles. Also, Via is complaining and Augie is complaining, all stemming from Augie's disability. But then Justin's character is actually very jealous and very envious of Via's family. He loves the fact that the family is so strongly bonded together. They love each other, so affectionate towards each other. But if Justin thinks about his own family, his parents are divorced, and then he is spending half of the week at mom's house and the rest of the week at dad's house, and the two parents are encouraging him to be independent. Justin, here is the key to the house. Justin, you can do this on your own. So although he's being encouraged to be independent, he actually is a kid, needs more attention and love from his family, but he doesn't have that. So Justin adds a new perspective to the family. So everybody complains about his or her situation, but uh, if your life is seen from other people's perspective, there are so many blessings. There are so many things that you take for granted. Yeah, so and Justin's chapter was is written in a unique style, so usually the first letter of a sentence is capitalized, right? But then Justin's chapter is all written in small cases, and then without proper punctuations like periods and so on. So we can see that his voice is pretty unique, and then we can see that his emotions and what he describes are pretty trustworthy and honest. We can see the rawness of his emotions and thoughts. Yeah, and Justin has this tic disorder. Tic disorder is the physical symptom when a person shows a certain action or says something without being able to control it. So, tic disorder usually stems from stress or emotional strain, and I think that's probably because of the family situation that Justin has. He has a much older brother who sort of has lost contact with Justin. His parents barely care about him, so he might be feeling all alone in this entire world. And no wonder that kind of feeling is manifesting itself in terms of physical symptoms. So the lack of a stable and supported home environment is manifesting itself as tics, I think. Also, Justin is an artist. He plays the fiddle, which means a informal word for violin. He plays the traditional Irish violin, which is the fiddle. So he's an artist. So he's very sensitive, and he likes to look into himself, which means he's introspective. So artists who is more sensitive and introspective, they're more likely to have response to stressful situations. So, but then because he's honestly confessing those of his weaknesses, he is more relatable to us. 우리는 얘한테 더 공감이 가죠. 얘한테 조금 더 애착이 가죠. He is more relatable and he feels more human to us readers. Yeah, and then there is this impressive part. So Justin was visiting Via at the Pullman house, and Jack Will was visiting Augie on the same day, and then they're returning home. So Augie's mom is asking Justin to watch over Jack Will until he gets on the bus. And Jack Will, he's pretty short. He's not really big for his age. And then he tries to look cool and he tries to look strong on the surface, on his face. And then he says that I always ride the bus on my own, so you don't have to watch me or anything. But then Justin still watches Jack Will, And while Jack Will is getting his gum at a supermarket, he runs into three bullies, including Juliet, and they make faces at Jack Will, and they bully Jack Will, and Justin sees that. And after Jack Will taking off, Justin approaches the three kids and threatens them with the metal case that contains the violin. And then the kids took it as a case for a gun, and then uh, they are really scared. So Justin, I think the reason why Justin did that, he saw how Jack Will was walking on his behind, and then he saw how little this guy was and how fragile and how vulnerable this little kid is. But then he's taking the social pressure coming from hanging out with Augie all on his own. And then Jack Will looked so alone and lonely at that moment. And Justin sort of identified himself with Jack Will because Justin was feeling very lonely at the moment because of his family situation and dealing with the pressure. So he wanted to really encourage this kid and then wanted to protect this kid because he saw himself in Jack Will. So here we can see that he's a very protected man, brave, and he has a very strong sense of justice who is willing to stand up against what is right and then fighting against wrongdoings. Okay, thank you for watching.